morning from Joplin, Missouri, as we get set to start day 2 of the Division II Women's NCCAA National Championships. Good morning, I'm Kyle Rush. Glad to have you aboard the broadcast with us as we have an entertaining matchup to start the day, albeit, yes, it's in the consolation bracket, but both these teams had chances to win yesterday, and the host school, Ozark Christian College, had the attention of the entire tournament for much of the game. At one point, Ozark led by 10 points against the top seed and reigning 4-time national champs in Arlington Baptist. They led that game 19-9, but Arlington Baptist was able to force turnovers, and that ultimately propelled them to victory. Maranatha Baptist played a game that would have been a semifinal a year ago. It was a first-round game this year, and Maranatha Baptist, as they so often have seemed to do, which is meet Grace Christian. They used to battle in regional finals. They did that 8 times when they were in the same region. But as the last time they met, Grace Christian came away with a win. That was the first meeting, by the way, yesterday since 2016. But the SaberCats looking to bounce back as you look at the starters. Peyton Miller and Lydia Pippins at the guard spots were impressive yesterday, as Pippins had 9 first-half points, but just 1 in the second half. And you look at the starting lineups for the SaberCats. Callie Morrison was quiet by her standards with just 11 points on 3 of 11 shooting in their loss to Grace Christian. SaberCats in white, the Ambassadors in navy, and we're underway here on day 2 of these women's championships, and already a whistle. And the clock never moved. So they have to fix it, and they'll do just that as they go over to the scores table and a brief timeout. And well, you know, on a golf course you get a breakfast ball off the first tee, so that's what we'll do. We'll take one as well. Right out of the gates here on day 2. But Maranatha Baptist led by Clayton Morrison in his 28th season at the helm. And he has had an impressive run. But yesterday it was a struggle for the SaberCats from the floor. Just 25% from the field in that loss yesterday. As you get a good look at the SaberCats there. And Clayton Morrison in the middle of that huddle, as they have 3 straight regional titles under their belt. That's how they got here this year. And you flip it over to the other side, and you look at the Ozark Ambassadors. All smiles. Kyle Wickland had his team ready to go a day ago. And they were upset-minded for a long time and tested Arlington Baptist throughout before ultimately falling short. Clock's right, and now we're underway. Take 2. Morrison feeds inside. Jump hook, power move, no good. Simpson, the rebound. Pulls it out, takes the jumper herself. Misfired. And then another chance on the putback as it's put up and in. Hansel, the one who was able to finish. It'll be interesting to see what tempo that the Ambassadors play with. They played at a frantic pace yesterday. Drive inside, no. Rebound Gentry. Tried to get it out to Miller, unable to do so. It's a turnover. Loose ball. Morrison comes away with it. She wants to run. Finds the trailer. Pump fake, drive, floater, midline. Miss short. Loose on the floor, got her own miss, and then is fouled. Is Emily Johnson. Well, Johnson fouled on the way in. They'll tag Pippins with her first foul as they get set to inbound, trying to extend that 2-0 lead. Around the horn it comes. Baseline wing. Johnson again. 7 to shoot. They'll tee up the triple. And it's Simpson from downtown. She had a double-double yesterday in the loss, 13 points, 10 rebounds. Had 6 steals in that game as well. Morrison comes away with a steal here. SaberCats looking to add to a 5-0 lead. Miss one right down low. Kick out. Hansel. No. And Gentry will clear. Couple point-blank looks, and that was the story for Clayton Morrison and his club yesterday. Fed inside. Power dribble. Gentry off the pump fake. That'll count +1. Boy, Gentry was not necessarily one that stood out in the box score as far as a point standpoint a day ago, but boy, did she have her fingerprints all over the box score yesterday. She did end up with 7 points, but 8 assists, 12 rebounds. She was 2 assists shy of a double-double without having the points category. She's got 3 points to start the scoring for the Ambassadors here this morning. 2 minutes gone by, opening quarter. Swinging around, Simpson thought about the triple again. Works on Gentry. Step back. Oh, how pretty of a move was that. It'll be a fun matchup to watch down low. The senior from Manassas, Virginia, off to a hot start. She has 5. Gentry, she has 5. Anything you can do, I can do better. Ironically, both wearing 32. That'll be a fun one to keep tabs on all game long. It's 7-5 in favor of the SaberCats. Backdoor cut, Morrison high off the window. A pretty move in the half court there. The head, Shaper. As Miller tries to back her way in. Drive, looking for the corner kick. They find it. Floater through contact as Purinton draws the foul. A quick head fake, and it's Caitlin Morrison who will pick up the foul, her first, team second. And Purinton will be at the line. She was oh so good for much of that game, handling the suffocating pressure from the Patriots a day ago. Tallying a game-high 24 points. That also ties a tournament high from day one. She's got her first 2 of the day here. And cuts the deficit to 2. Morrison now to Simpson. She's got 5 early points for the SaberCats. Here's Callie Morrison. Misfired that time. Strong rebound by Jaycox. And a chance to tie as they want to run. Peyton Miller, the trailer. 3 ball. Yes! And just like that, the Ambassadors are in the lead with a 3 from Pippins. They're the ones at times trying to slow things down a bit yesterday. They sped up the tempo there, and it worked with a transition triple. And for the first time, we see the SaberCats trailing. Drive, midline, couldn't finish, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay here with 5 to shoot. Well, Madison Shaper, a sophomore out of Welch, Oklahoma, will check in for the first time. Another key contributor from a day ago. Had a couple big threes in that contest. Johnson helped lead the SaberCats, as did Simpson, who fires away. Missed short this time. Johnson got it back. Couldn't get the follow. Another chance. Simpson, midline drive, pump fake. Finds the open man, and Caitlin Morrison dumps it in. Offensive rebounds proving fruitful for the SaberCats. Gentry, kick out. Shaper, 3. Not this time. Saved initially by Purinton, but right to the SaberCats, and Morrison will clear. Reminder that the NCCAA network is powered by SCORE International. SCORE specializes in short-term mission trips. Pair your passion with the opportunity to share the gospel internationally and domestically by joining SCORE on a short-term mission trip. Visit scoreintl.org/NCCAA to find out more. 3-point lead for the SaberCats. Caitlin Morrison stuck her hand in the cookie jar for another steal. Drives the other way, lost the ball. Last touch by Ozark Christian. So it'll stay here. As Jake Cox will check out. Miller back in. Lob comes Simpson, working on Gentry. Gentry swatted it away. And her first block of the game. She had 4 of those a day ago. Pass low for Shaper, had to corral it. Just does. And they'll set the offense up. Trailing by 3. Gentry, she'll try the 3. Not this time. Shot misfired short. Stamina will be interesting to see in that high-octane game they played a day ago for the Ambassadors. And a 10-second count as they couldn't get it across the timeline. You know, if Kyle Wicklund has anything to say about it in his 10th season, they'll have plenty of energy. He expended a good amount of energy himself a day ago. Patrolling the sidelines. Look to curl around a screen. They do. Dump inside. Knocked away. Well done by Hansel down low, the senior from Watertown, Wisconsin, with the steal. Now she goes to work offensively. Inside, Simpson working on Gentry. Tough shot. Gentry there to defend it again. Don't know that she'll get the block there. Now, the Ambassadors on the run and a foul from behind. Hansel's going to be the guilty party. It's the 3rd team foul of the quarter. I beg your pardon, they didn't call it on Hansel. They called it on Morrison. That's her 2nd. So 2 fouls already for Caitlin Morrison. Simpson has the other team foul. So now they'll orchestrate the offense. Just one more foul to give in the quarter with 3:44 to go. As Miller drives midline, gets it in Gentry. Mismatch there, double comes, kick out, open, triple down the hatch. Pippins delivers the second 3-ball of the game. She's 2 for 2 from downtown early on. 9 first half points yesterday. She's already got 6 in this one. Layup rolls off the iron, and now Coach Wicklund wants his team to push. They do. Pippins thought about it again. Instead, they work it around into Gentry. Double comes. Shaper just inside the line. Misfire. Gentry another rebound knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Ambassadors. And mention how Gentry can fill up a stat sheet. Get this, not a misprint, by the way. 17 rebounds a game. As she gets the feed here, kick out. She's got a few assists. All 3 to Pippins, who's got 3 triples from downtown. 9 points in the opening quarter. First quarter magic from Lydia Pippins here in this tournament. And I think she's just a freshman. She's been making an impact in this tournament for years to come as Hansel drives it right to the 10 and lays it up and in. Entertaining opening quarter. Mentioned at the start of the broadcast yesterday, Ambassadors not your typical 8 seed, and an offensive foul here will be a turnover. Already the 5th in the game. Pippins gets called for the foul. And that's her 2nd. So not what you want to see from a shooter who's knocked down 3 triples in less than 8 minutes. She's picked up her 2nd foul. Stays in the ball game though. And we'll see if they go right at her here. She's shadowing Schultz now defensively. Callie Morrison trying to get the switch on Pippins. Unable to do so. Looking to skip it inside. They do. Rogers slipped away from Gentry for a moment. Pass comes out to Schultz. Gentry denies access. And it's a shot clock violation. Cameron Gentry just destroyed the look And the offensive trip that time for the SaberCats. Now our team gets the ball back, leading by 1. Shaper works it around inside. Purinton. Shaper. High-low action in the post. Miller, tough floater, got the bounce. Home roll is kind to her. And the Ambassadors lead by 3. These are not your typical 8 seed, but this is a Maranatha Baptist team who had eyes set on a deep run themselves. They were in the semifinal a year ago, as that one's canned from just inside the line from Guerin. Came in with the motto, unfinished business, referring to that tough loss against Arlington Baptist in the 2019 semis. So it's the first time in 3 years the SaberCats have not been in the semifinal. Miller, drive all the way to the rack, and she's fouled on the way in. She does draw the foul. We'll see who they tag. It'll be the 14th foul against the SaberCats. It goes on Schultz. That's her first. And it'll send Miller to the line. On the year, Miller 70% from the stripe, but she misfires on that one. And this one would extend the lead back to 2. This off the right side, so 0 for 2 that trip down. Well, they work it back around. Morrison tried to cut and flash down the midline. Couldn't get it to her feet inside. Gentry knocked it away that time. Now Gentry all the way out on the perimeter. 3 ball over top of Gentry is good. A high arcing shot from Callie Morrison. What else is new? Puts her team up 2. Gentry goes back to work. Around the horn. Pippins for 3 more around and out. Already with 3 of them here in the quarter. Strong rebound inside and a foul will be whistled on Purinton. That's the team's 3rd. Mentioned Callie Morrison, who connected on that triple for the SaberCats a moment ago. While she struggled, just 3 of 13 from the floor in that opening round loss. She was the first SaberCat in history, tabbed North Region first team. As she drives this one hard to the rack and will go to the line. Got to the 1,000-point plateau late in the year. 12th in scoring in the record books, and she's just a junior. In a season where she was 3 times the NCCAA Student Athlete of the Week. All-American second team selection as well. All part of a fine junior season, and she's put yesterday behind her already. 3 of 5 from the field with 9 points. Her SaberCats lead. Good if it goes at the horn. Madison Shaper from downtown trims the lead to 1. And a thrilling end to a thrilling quarter as Shaper will send it out, the sophomore from Welch, Oklahoma. Her team trailed by 4. She gets them within 1, headed to the 2nd. Welcome back to Joplin, Missouri, as we've had an entertaining start to our first game of the day between the 5 and 8 seed Maranatha with a 1-point lead. But it was Shaper with fireworks right before the intermission between quarters, and a little 2 for 1, if you will. The buzzer beater to end the quarter. Now they get the ball to start the 2nd. Trailing by just 1. Ambassadors shot 64% in the opening 10 minutes, and they pick up where they left off as Peyton Miller knocks it down. The team, they shot well yesterday. 76 points on the board. Shot 42.5% from the field. But quickly the answer the other way, and the SaberCats stick their nose in front. 41% for them in the early going. And it's Jay Cox right back at him with a deuce of her own. 25-24. Simpson. Morrison thought about the triple. She's got 11 already. Now comes to get the ball again. 4 of 6 from the field. Shot clock winding down. Callie Morrison going to work. Weaves through traffic. Up under. Couldn't finish. Somehow got a pretty good look at it, despite weaving through a couple of Ambassador defenders, but couldn't get it high enough off the window. Drive, flip with the left hand. That one's up and in by Clarissa Rice. Mentioned yesterday, 5-sport athlete in high school. Shows some of that athleticism there. Drive inside. Tough off-balance shot. Missed everything. Jay Cox the rebound. Purinton wants to take it and run. Well, at least her coach wanted her to. So now they'll work it in the half court. Miller puts it on the deck. Rice again, nearly traveled. Instead, into Jay Cox it goes. Works her way inside. Missed the layup inside as she was hounded by Morrison. Purinton, baseline, drive, kick, around the horn it comes. 3 ball on the way. Bodges missed everything. That's a good offense, and now it's the Ambassadors who will try to press the issue here. A little full court pressure. It was a 1-8 matchup yesterday, but it was one where they handled the pace for the most part from the Patriots really well. The pressure in the backcourt got to them. They did turn it over 29 times, but for much of the game they were right in the thick of it. And a nice job by Jake Cox in the passing lane here, knocks it away. Look at the SaberCats. You got the sense at times Callie Morrison wasn't assertive enough. That has not been the case early on here. Simpson. Circus shot won't fall with the left hand. Good skip pass ahead. Try to start the break. Nothing there. They'll work the offense now. Rice awaits Miller. Into the corner, Purinton. Knocked away was the pass. Johnson comes out with it. Off and running are the SaberCats. 2-on-1. Euro step. Morrison couldn't finish. Chased out of bounds. No, it's saved, but hit the deck hard, and she traveled with it. But you got to like the hustle. As Sarah Rogers was first to the floor. And a little scoreless spell for each team now. A little over a minute and a half for the Ambassadors without a bucket. But because their defense, they still on a 9-2-1. Bodges didn't miss that one. Make it a 12-2 run for the Ambassadors as they've stretched the lead out to 6. Skipped ahead, loose ball, got it back. Johnson. Back to Morrison. SaberCats have been held scoreless over 2 minutes' time without a point, and now a foul here as they'll take it on a sign-out play. That's on Purinton. That's her second. So Purinton and Pippins, both guards with a pair of fouls for Ozark. And Purinton will check out. So now can the SaberCats take advantage as Simpson puts in the deuce. Purinton and Pippins both on the bench. Where do they go for offense? Tough floater. Jake Cox, Gentry the rebound. Around it goes Rice. Pump and go. Off the window. Rattles it home. Rice is connected on her first 2. And an impressive freshman, not just on the hardwood. We mentioned a 5-sport athlete in high school, but also already has her cosmetology license. As Morrison, after the hot start, has missed her last 3, including that one inside. Gentry backing her way in, back out to Rice. Rice again thought about the 3 around the screen. Here she comes, full steam ahead, lost the handle, and it was last off her kneecap. Out of bounds, back to the SaberCats it goes. And again, Ambassadors show pressure, leading by 6. Now they back off. Simpson on the run now will slow things down. Johnson from long range off the heel of the iron. Rebound tracked down by Simpson and ripped away, and a jump ball will keep it here. So maybe a break for Maranatha Baptist there as the jump ball. And they had the arrow, will keep it here as it was ripped away. And it appeared that the Ambassadors were going to run away with the basketball. Instead, Morrison will trigger the inbound. Looks off a couple ball screens. Wide open look. Couldn't get it to drop. Rattled around a while, but didn't find the cylinder. Morrison after the hot start, now 4-10. Gentry backing her way inside. Simpson, the strong D. Now it's the SaberCats' turn to try to run. The trailer, Simpson. Off a dribble. Morrison. Pump, drive, mid-range, yes. And after missing on her last 4, puts that one in. She's got 13 of the 28 for the SaberCats. The Ambassadors again will reset. Just past midway point, second quarter. And a foul, this time going to be on Morrison. Morrison thought it was more of a slip than a bump on contact, but either way, just the first team foul. And first personal is Clayton Morrison making the case on the sideline. It's a family affair. Clayton Morrison, the 4th. One of his assistants on the sideline for the SaberCats. So Morrison in a familiar name in the SaberCat women's basketball program. No doubt about that. Gentry lost the handle, and it was Morrison who poked it away. Callie, that is. They have Callie and Caitlin on the roster. Drive, Simpson, 3 is good. Simpson and Morrison have carried the load. They're responsible for 23 of the 31. And it's just a 1-point deficit now for the SaberCats. Back into Gentry. This time she draws the foul. That's going to be Simpson's second, and she can't believe it. It'll send Gentry to the free throw line, where she was 1 for 1 today. That was when she completed a 3-point play on Simpson's first foul. Misfires here, though. Gentry already 5 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Misfired on the second, so 0-2 from the line. Rolls ahead, and now they got to get back on defense. Simpson thought about towing the triple instead. We'll hand it off into the half-court set. Morrison, she'll try her hand and give her all 3. Callie Morrison certainly been assertive to start this one. She's got 16 first-half points and has exploded the SaberCats into the lead. Ambassadors have led by as many as 6. Shaper, the answer, finds nylon on the way down. And just like that, the Ambassadors jump back in front. Simpson for 3. No. But for a moment, we might have 3 straight triples. The trifecta, if you will. Miller. Got it back. She'll try from downtown. No, Gentry tries to chase down the rebound. And she didn't do that, but it was last touched by Morrison. It'll stay with the Ambassadors, who lead by 1. As Hansel will check back in for Simpson. Remember Simpson with those 2 fouls. See if the Ambassadors go right back inside here. Without Simpson in, they went to Gentry inside twice. It set up 2 3-balls. And keep in mind, the Ambassadors with the lead now, despite their 2 starting guards with a pair of fouls and foul trouble. Gentry, the putback is good. And Clayton Morrison beside himself on the sideline as nobody boxed out Gentry. And Gentry the block, but she commits the foul. It'll send Hansel to the line. And, you know, it was mentioned in meetings last night and with the team this morning. Gentry finds her way to the basketball. We got to put a body on her, and last trip down the floor, SaberCats didn't. She made them pay. As Gentry was 7.7 rebounds, and we still got just under 2 minutes to go in the half. Second free throw good. Gives us a chance to remind you, Central Christian College of the Bible is now offering Master of the Arts in Ministry Leadership at its Missouri and Kentucky campuses. It's a very affordable and distinctive program, combines online, career coaching, and an on-campus course to enhance personal leadership skills and lead congregations toward health. Now's the time to advance your ministry. Find out more at ccb.edu. Under 10 to shoot. As Pippin's back in, lost the handle. SaberCats come away with it out on the break. In front of everybody, layup too strong. Was worried about the shot blocker from Schultz as you saw her sort of peek over that right shoulder before she let the layup go. And wasn't able to throw it high off the glass. So it's still a 2-point Ambassador lead. Work around the horn, baseline drive now. Cut off there. Good defense from the SaberCats. Shot clock again under 10. Bodges. They got to put it up with 3 to shoot. Shaper lost the handle. Timer goes off. They play on as the SaberCats have possession. Johnson feeds ahead. Morrison jab step, but she took one too many, and it's a travel. It'll be the 5th turnover for the SaberCats. Already 2 SaberCats in double figures. Morrison with 16. Simpson has 10. Simpson at the moment saddled with 2 fouls. But it's been the SaberCat defense last 2 trips down that's really dug in. 8-second differential, shot and game clock as we wind down the opening half. Miller slings it back. Shaper back to Miller. Around the screen, off the curl. Gentry. Free throw line jumper, no. Miller the rebound. Putback is good. 10 seconds to work with. Morrison's got to hurry. Looking to weave through traffic. No. Chance for an offensive rebound perhaps, and a whistle. Tie-up will give it to the Ambassadors with just .2 remaining, so that will likely send us to halftime. And it's the 8 seed Ozark Christian behind 57.7% shooting and 54.5% from downtown. That has stretched it to a 4-point lead at the break. The 8 seed looking to pick up their first win of the tournament as they lead it by 4 at halftime. We'll break it all down for you on the other side on the NCCAA Network. Welcome back to Joplin, Missouri, as we get set for the second half of our first game of the day. But before we do, we'll run down the Score International stat sheet. A reminder, the NCCAA Network is powered by Score International. Score specializes in short-term mission trips. Pair your passion with the opportunity to share the gospel internationally and domestically by joining Score on a short-term mission trip. Visit scoreintl.org/NCCAA to learn more. And look at the numbers there, and an interesting stat throughout this one. Ozark is shooting a higher percentage from the floor and three than they are at the foul line. They're just 43% from the free throw line, 54.5 from downtown, over 57 from the field. And as a result, they have a 4-point lead, but those turnovers 10-4, and that tally has kept Maranatha in it. But despite that, only 6 points off of those 10 turnovers. It'll be the SaberCats with the opening possession here. Johnson inside of Hansel, lost it. And keep in mind, a lot of that second quarter for the Ozarks, or for Ozark, was played without Pippins and Purinton, as the Ambassadors have both of them in with 2 fouls to start the third. Individual story was Callie Morrison for the SaberCats in the first half with 16 first half points. Gentry doubled immediately, fired it out of bounds. Trying to fire to the opposite corner. Purinton had already vacated it, and it's turnover number 11. The Ambassadors had 29 yesterday. As Johnson moves her way into the front court. Minute gone by here in the third. Morrison tees up the triple and rattles it home. She's put the SaberCats on her back here. And with 19 points, has them back within 1. Gentry works on Simpson, who also has 2 fouls. Got it back, puts it up and in. And Gentry now with 9 points to go along with 8 rebounds. Morrison. With up for a minute, she might pull the trigger again. Johnson will from way downtown. Off the backboard, misfired. Gentry finally collects the rebound. That's her 9th. A point and a rebound shy of a double-double. And we're just barely shy of 2 minutes in the third gone by. Gentry got it back, kicks it outside. Purinton, triple, bang! All 3 assists from Gentry have led to 3 balls for the Ambassadors. This one puts them up by 6. Ambassadors now 7 of 12 from downtown. Simpson all the way to the 10. They got Gentry on the perimeter, and Simpson took it right by her. Said that'd be a fun matchup. Simpson's got 12, Gentry with 9. Lost it on the way in, did Pippins. Turnover. Leads to the break, but it was bobbled for a moment, and Simpson has to collect it, and they'll set up the half court. Down by 4. Simpson, high post. Too much traffic to try to drive. Not for Morrison, who tried the 2-man game to get it on the roll. Instead, it was off a leg of an Ozark player. It'll stay with the SaberCats. Johnson, nice job by Purinton to jump in the passing lane. Knocks it away. We'll try it again. 10 to shoot. For Simpson and company. Morrison works by Miller. Through contact, didn't get a call. She wanted one. Shrugs it off, now comes the other way. Shaper thought about teeing up a transition triple. Instead, they'll work it around. Looking inside. Gentry, doubled, flips, Shaper. Mid-range, no. Rebound, no. Another putback. That won't fall. Shaper's turn. Couldn't get it, and an over-the-back call finally called against Gentry. But 4 looks right at the rim. And the Ambassadors unable to capitalize on either. Gentry does now have 11 rebounds. Remember, she averages 17. It's not a misprint. She finds the loose ball and has an knack for reading the angle and right spot, right time, collecting the board and It's a lot of putbacks because of that as well. SaberCats down 4, looking for answers offensively. Johnson, that could be an answer. Floater, popped in and out, and the iron kind. Lob inside. Gentry back to work. She's got a double-double. 11 points and 11 rebounds. And now she's added a steal to the ledger. Purinton on the break. 2-on-1. She'll take it herself, plus the foul. With the left hand, does a nice job extending it away from the body and flipped it high off the window. Have another look. Gentry ripping away the steal and then finds Purinton off to the races, who took it right at Morrison with the finish. The second foul on Morrison as the free throw clanged around and out. Gentry got in the air and Morrison returns the favor. It'll be Gentry's third personal. And Callie Morrison will go to the line. And as a result, Gentry will check out of the ball game. And she's played 20 of the 24 minutes so far. As Morrison gets this one to go. Morrison's played every minute of the game so far. About what you would expect from a first-team All-North Region selection. Got the bounce on the second. Second-team All-American. And she has put the struggles from yesterday behind her. She's got 21. And a timeout called. First taken from the Ambassadors. And a 4-point game. It'll give us time to remind you, if you're looking for a new subscription or perhaps new reading material, look no further than Sports Spectrum, which tells the stories of sports intersecting with faith in Jesus Christ. And now is a great time to become a subscriber of the Sports Spectrum magazine. Just $18 for an entire year subscription. Order yours today at sportspectrum.com. And right now, it is Clayton Morrison with his team down 4, trying to push them over the edge. He's gotten a heck of a performance, an All-American caliber performance from Callie Morrison, who has 21 points on 7 of 15 shooting. And we got 5.5 minutes to go yet in the third. Tournament high in points scored by any player is 24. And a couple did that yesterday. Purinton and Rebecca Farmer for Arlington Baptist both hit that number. Purinton with 7 today. He's only taken 2 shots from the field, though. And it's Shaper at the line as Morrison picks up her third foul. So we'll see how they play that one. As their leading scorer, 21 points, has 3 fouls. That could prove to be problematic as Shaper knocks down the first. Perfect 2-2 at the line. The lead back to 6 again. Seems like they've threatened it here in the third. They've gotten it to within a possession on a couple of occasions. But each time it gets there, the Ambassadors stretch it back to where it started the half at 6. Lob inside. Simpson, too strong, got her own. Back up, couldn't get it high enough off the window. Again, another opportunity, though. And they'll reset the offense. Morrison weaves, finds Hansel. And knocked out of bounds. And you saw the whistle there. Morrison, almost a recoil. Worried that perhaps she'd pick up her 4th foul. SaberCats can ill afford that. Triggers the inbound here. Johnson spins inside. Now has it back on the perimeter, hesitated on the three. Instead has it taken away by Puritan. A fine defensive play. And now a 2-on-3. Teardrop won't fall as it missed off the right side. Simpson races the other way. Stops, kicks to Morrison. Short corner jumper. No. Offensive rebound. SaberCats. Johnson the three. And that's well off the mark, and it'll go back to the Ambassadors. Chance to extend a 6-point lead. This is the largest it's been all game. It's been that on a couple of occasions. They've led for nearly 72% of the ball game. Shaper couldn't extend it further. Hansel trapped on the baseline, dribbles out of it. You get the sense danger time is neither team has scored in over a minute and a half. Approaching 2 minutes for the SaberCats is a foul on the way, and that's the third on Puritan. So foul trouble mounting up for both sides. Puritan and Gentry both with three for Ozark Christian. Morrison with three for Maranatha Baptist. Caitlin Morrison that is, and Simpson each with two. Simpson catch and shoot. And way too strong, and it was originally pointed in the Ambassadors' direction. The officials talk about it, and it'll stay with the SaberCats. Last touched by Ozark Christian. By just a little head roll by head court as she goes to dig in defensively. Morrison, three more. No, it's a two. They say her foot was on the line. She's got 23, though, and it's back to a 4-point game. Rice puts it on the deck. Into traffic. And a whistle. It's an offensive foul. Simpson took the charge. That could have been a big call. That's the first on Rice, team's fourth. And they called it on Simpson. That would have been her third. Instead, another foul in the quarter would mean 2 free throws for the SaberCats the rest of the quarter with 3:02 to go in the third. Nice feed into the cutter. Cut off on the baseline though. Morrison, drive, floater. She's got 2 more. Now a 25 and our team back within 2. This is the time though but they haven't been able to get that stop. Puritan draws the whistle. It is on the floor. So it'll be side out of bounds. That's just the third team foul for the SaberCats. As Puritan will check out, back in comes Pippins. Fouls the second on Schultz. Feed for Rice. Now poked away, loose. Schultz nearly got it, lost it. Hansel couldn't quite get to it in time. It'll stay Ambassador basketball. A couple of occasions, Maranatha Baptist has got it to a one-possession game, but so far in the second half, each time it's happened, the Ambassadors have had an answer. Tough spot to inbound from. They do just get it in. Jay Cox had it, lost it, and here they come. SaberCats can tie or take the lead. Into the corner, Schultz. High off the iron, but couldn't get the bounce. And Miller lost it on the way for the pass, and it hits the inline. Another turnover, the 15th, and a timeout taken. As Kyle Wicklund sensing the momentum shift now to the side of Maranatha Baptist. As it's just a 2-point game. It has been a long time since Ozark Christian has found the bucket. They have not scored a point in over 3 minutes. And as a result, it has let them right back in it. As Maranatha Baptist is led by Callie Morrison, who's hit 3 of her last 4. But they're not exactly white hot right now. They're only 1 of their last 4 from the field. They shot it better the last few minutes. They could easily have the lead now. Instead, they trail by 2. And DJ got a little carried away and was trying to, get the music going during action. So no re-trigger. And Morrison back to work. Too strong this time. And loose ball on the floor. Tie-up will give the ball to the Ambassadors. With 1:54 to go in the third. You get the sense that neither team has been able to create substantial separation, which should have us going right down to the wire for a fun finish. Miller trying to help add to the Ambassador lead. Flips it over. Pippins, 3. Got it. Her first points of the second half. She had 9 all in the first quarter. Those the first points since then. Now with 12. The lead back to 5. Just like that. The 7-3 ball to drop for the Ambassadors in the game. Nice lane-to-lane move that time. Across the lane went Caitlin Morrison, who flipped it up and in. Back to 1 possession again. Bodges on the drive. Pippins thought about it, thought better of it. Instead, it's Miller. In traffic, misfired strong. Schultz, 2-on-1, weaves the give back to Morrison for the deuce. The lead down to 1 with 45 seconds to go in the third. They can go 2 for 1 if they want. But it doesn't seem that they have any interest in it. Instead, they'll set up the half-court offense. Shaper thought about the triple. 10 to shoot. Bodges now whipped around Miller. Midline, tough floater, missed short. And now the SaberCats can hold for 1 if they want. Lost it off her foot, got it back. Now numbers if they hurry. 5 on 4, under 10 to go. They get back defensively. Morrison for 3 in the lead. Well off the mark, out of bounds with 0.2 seconds left. Could argue perhaps there should have been maybe a few more ticks, but it'll be Ambassador basketball, and no matter. Third quarter's come to a close, but Maranatha Baptist has closed the gap. The lead just 1 as we got a good finish coming in game 1 of the day from the NCCAA Championships from Joplin, Missouri. Ready for the start of the fourth quarter, and it's the 8th seed in the Ambassadors from Ozark Christian who tested the top seed Arlington Baptist a day ago. Today they have a 1-point lead trying to close it out in the final 10 minutes. But Callie Morrison might have a lot to say about that. 27 points through the first 3 quarters. And Schultz has the SaberCats back in front. It's their first lead since the second quarter. They've only led for 6 minutes in the entire game. Contrast to the 23 minutes. The Ozark Christians had the lead. They lead by 1, looking for more. Morrison nearly lost her footing. Pitch back, 3 ball, back of the iron. And Gentry comes away with a rebound. She was out for much of that third quarter when they made their run. Puritan floater puts them back in front. Neither team is led by more than 6. SaberCats led by 5 at 5-0 to start the ball game. And the largest lead for Ozark was at 6. That came at 50-44 with 3.5 to go in the third. Nice weave and cut again. The cutting action off ball really starting to create opportunities for the SaberCats. Several players down, and one still slow to get up, and they'll blow it dead. I believe it's Simpson who's slow to get up as the athletic trainer will go to check on her. Underneath the baseline, it is Simpson. She waved her off and walks off on her own power. Appears to be all right, but sub coming either way. As she tried to walk to the far end away from the bench, trying to avoid the sub. As you know, she wants to stay in there. She's had a good ball game. 12 points on 5 of 16 with 7 rebounds, 5 steals. And so now you got to think Morrison will shoulder more of the load. A tie-up will send it back to the Ambassadors. 8:28 to go. If you're just joining us, welcome aboard. Kyle Rush here with you. It has been an entertaining back-and-forth contest. The 8th seed in Ozark Christian, 61% from downtown, has been a big part of the story. Rice all the way down Main Street for the lay-in. Miller the steal. They're back in front by 3. Now a chance to add on with the 8th turnover. From Maranatha Baptist, around the screen, 7 to shoot. Puritan drives through traffic, couldn't get the call. She hits the deck hard. 5 on 4. As Gentry may have gotten a piece, certainly altered it. Morrison for 3. No. And a big-time rebound inside as Puritan ripped it away from about 2 SaberCats. And the foul whistled. It'll come against Caitlin Morrison, her 3rd. It's the team's first with 7:38 to go. A reminder, NCCAA Network is powered by SCORE International. SCORE specializes in short-term mission trips. Pair your passion with the opportunity to share the gospel internationally and domestically by joining SCORE on a short-term mission trip. Visit scoreintl.org/NCCAA to find out more. Rice trying to carve him up again. Instead, lost the handle. Turnover number 17 for the Ambassadors, and another tie-up, this time headed towards the SaberCats, and multiple players on the deck. Puritan at the top of the key. Morrison slow to get up, and sometimes you see in a consolation bracket game, you don't see the intensity of what you might see in the semis. But that has been anything but the case. It has been a war throughout. And both teams have fought extremely hard. Puritan, who had that really strong rebound in traffic a moment ago, now be helped to the sideline, and 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting. As she's helped to the sideline, and that tough to see. She's been such a big part of what they have done. She was 9 of 14 from the floor a day ago, with at the time a game and tournament high at 24 points. It was shared by Farmer in that game from Arlington Baptist, but that has since been clipped as Morrison has 27 in this one for the SaberCats. So they'll check on Puritan, the sophomore out of Lockwood, Missouri. Sideline at least for the moment. Rice nearly got our hands on a steal. Instead, Schultz at the controls. Now it's Morrison slashing inside. That play has worked to get looks. Head coach Clayton Morrison A cutter going across the lane and the pass coming from the wing. That's the third or fourth time it's gotten a really good look. Now the three. That's a good look. Both teams shooting over 40% from downtown, and this one ties it. Pippins to answer. May have been partially blocked, and again, players hit the deck hard. Gentry and Hansel this time. The tie-up will keep it with the Ambassadors. Rice. Oh, what a move that was inside. The freshman showcases her skill and puts them back in front by a deuce. Swinging around Hansel. They left her alone out there. Daring her to shoot, she didn't. Morrison lost the handle for a moment. Got it back, baseline drive, foul on the way in. I believe it'll be on Bodges. It'll be her first. Shaper will check in. It is on Bodges. Check that, though. It's her second. Team's first. They'll re-trigger. Down by 2. Morrison back to work. Floater got the bounce. They've needed all of her 29 points as it's got the SaberCats level. Dump inside. Gentry all by herself lays it up and in. A defensive lapse as soon as they've tied the game. And Coach Clayton Morrison not happy about it, calls time. It'll be a full timeout as the feed inside to Gentry. As she was all by herself. Gentry with 13 points, 15 rebounds. Has helped control the paint inside for the Ambassadors, but it's been met with 29 points from Callie Morrison, who has been sensational. There you get a look at Kyle Wickland. In his 10th season, what a job he has done. And he had this team believing they could win games from the opening jump as they stormed out to a 7-0 lead a day ago, and now leading by 2, trying to close it out. But it's the SaberCats and Clayton Morrison who have seen the performance of the tournament, at least scoring-wise, from Callie Morrison. Players banged up on both sides, key contributors on both sides. Simpson hit the deck hard for the SaberCats, and seconds later it was Purinton. Simpson back in for the SaberCats. Purinton still being attended to by the athletic training staff behind the scores table. 61-59. Johnson, all 3 of those to give them the lead. She's now in double figures with 11. But more importantly, the SaberCats are back in front. Gentry, inside, kick. Rice, floater, too strong. She's had some big moments in this one. Off the bench, not that time. Johnson again, got it again. And it's the largest lead since 5-0 for the SaberCats. It comes at 4 with under 5 to go. And now, how will the Ambassadors respond? Shaper. Pitch back to Rice. Lost the handle. It's Morrison again. Off to the races. Working on Miller. It'll count. And 1. It's an 8-0 run in 1 minute and 29 seconds to give them their largest lead of the game, capped by Morrison, who has done it all for the SaberCats. 31 points. She's a perfect 4 for 4 at the line with a chance to stretch it further, and does. The lead is 7. 4:23 to go. And a quick 9-0 spurt. Bodges swings it around, lob inside. Shaper had it stripped away by Simpson. Loose ball on the inline. It'll stay with the SaberCats. And again, players slow to get up. Simpson and Hansel collided with each other. And 12 to shoot for the Ambassadors as Coach Wickland paces the sideline. One of the few times we've seen him sit down in the ball game. Gentry. High post, works to back her way in. Shaper tees the 3 ball. That one missed short. Johnson with a pair of threes in this run. Has it again. Swing. Simpson thought about it. Gentry went to cover and said they'll work the offense now. Leading by 7, the biggest it's been all game. Johnson, not this time. SaberCats have held them scoreless for nearly 2 minutes. And Morrison the rebound. Combine that with a spurt of their own. It's a 9-0 run, looking to add to it. And now they're content to try to milk some of this clock. Morrison. Around the horn, shot clock down to 5. Johnson back inside Simpson. Tough fadeaway jumper. Was missed short. Gentry collected the rebound. You get the sense Ambassadors need to find points this trip down. Bodges works it around the horn. Inside, got position there, and a charge called. Boy, it looked like Simpson was in the restricted area. That's the 4th on Gentry. And with Purinton being attended to by the athletic training staff, who's just come back to the bench, we can ill afford to have Gentry foul out, but she's got 4. 2.5 minutes to go. And the athletic trainer giving the word to Sarah Rhodes, the assistant coach. It doesn't appear that Purinton's able to come back in. Johnson got loose, missed the lay-in inside. Gentry snatches the rebound. Her 18th. Miller backs her way in. Gentry back inside to Miller. Cut off baseline, nowhere to go. Shaper the 3, got all 3. When they needed it most, Shaper delivers. It's back to within 4. 2 to go. And Johnson will go to work on the clock. It's in Morrison's hands. Now back to Johnson. Simpson the 3, banked it home. And is that the one that puts them over the top? Jacqueline Simpson, Shaper to answer, yes! Oh, mercy. The 8 seed will not go away. Shaper with 2 consecutive triples to keep Ozark Christian in it. Timeout, Kyle Wickland. It's just a 4-point game with 1:27 to go. You thought the bank by Simpson that might have pushed him across the finish line, but Shaper had other ideas. She now has 14, and that leads the Ambassadors in scoring. And she's 4 of 5 from beyond the arc. You would have to think, with Purinton seemingly sidelined, that might be a big part of the offense for the Ambassadors, and you could just sort of see in that huddle Purinton upset that she can't give it a go. And she goes back to the sideline. Down the sideline comes Morrison. Miller side by side. They're going to call the foul. It's team foul number 4. It'll be the second on Peyton Miller. Next one will be free throws. And Simpson, her team with a 4-point lead. Because of the shaper 3, they can afford to play it out here. Nearly poked away. Gentry now way away from the rim. Got back in it defensively. Nearly had herself a steal. Morrison drives. Simpson for 3 more. Way off the mark. No backboard from the corner angle. And now a foul on Shaper. With 3 on the shot clock, it'll bail out the SaberCats and send them to the line. That's a costly one at that. It is her first, team 5th. And Morrison, Caitlin Morrison, that is, at the free throw line, where she's a 71% shooter on the year. That one's perfect. These are first free throws of the day. One more to come. Got the bounce. The lead is 6 with a minute to go. Still time, but it's of the essence for the Ambassadors. Shaper tees it up again. Missed short this time. Rebounded Hansel into the hands of Callie Morrison, and you got to think they got a foul here. They're not. Morrison content to dribble it out. Weaves inside Simpson. She'll shoot it. Misfire. That's a win for the Ambassadors. Only half the shot clock had expired, and now they got a chance. Gentry for 3. Yes! It's a 3-point game. Pressure comes in and a foul as they try to strip it away from Johnson. And Cameron Gentry has kept them in it. The 3 makes it a 1-possession game. And Johnson to the free throw line, but percentage-wise, she's the best shooter the SaberCats have at the stripe. She has not been there yet today, though. She has 11 points. 6 of them came on 2 3 balls in that 8-0 run that put them back in front, but missed the first. We are far from done. One more to give them a 2-possession lead. Got it. Timeout taken. It'll be a full timeout for the Ambassadors, who are down by 4 with 25 seconds to go. Down one of their starting guards in Purinton, who hit the deck hard earlier this quarter. She has not returned since. But it's been a pair of post players with some big-time three-pointers that has given them a chance. Do they have more magic in them? Clayton Morrison has certainly seen the situation several times during his time at the helm of the SaberCat program, as he draws up what he wants them to do defensively and surely how they can get the ball into a good free throw shooter's hands. They have several. As it'll be Miller, Pippins, Schaefer, Gentry, Bodges on the floor for the Ambassadors. Miller takes it off the inbound. Miller waiting, time running out. Gentry, she'll fire the triple again. Got it again. It's just a 1-point game. Gentry in the clutch. Simpson is fouled, and that's not a bad foul necessarily, as Simpson, an 82% free throw shooter, but that is the 5th on Gentry. So she is fouled out, but back-to-back three-pointers from Gentry has given her team a chance. She's got 19 points and 19 rebounds. A mammoth effort from the sophomore out of Broken Bow, Oklahoma. The lead is 2, regardless if Simpson makes this. It's still just a one-possession game. As long as they secure a rebound, don't allow the putback. It's no good. The lead just 2. With 13 seconds to go, they will call timeout. And in the women's game, unlike the men's, you can advance the ball in the last minute. So they will. Plenty of time now. If you're the Ambassadors, trailing by 2 with 13 seconds to go. 75-73. However, your leading scorer on the day, and Gentry, who's just hit 2 threes for you, is fouled out of the game. But plenty other options. Now do they go for the tie or the win? That's what they're talking about in the huddle from Kyle Wickland. You got to think perhaps they'll drive to the bucket, but the 8 seed has shown the heart of a lion in this tournament. And trying to pick up a big-time win and get into the 5th place game tomorrow. Still lots to be decided with 13 seconds to go. Miller will inbound. Got to get it in. They do to Pippins. Under 10 seconds. She's blocked aside. Hansel the rebound. It's a tie-up, but the arrow to the SaberCats. As Pippins was blocked by Simpson. Now, not over yet. They'll call timeout, and they'll advance it the other way with 6.2 to go. And it'll be a full timeout, so they'll discuss it on the other end. Maranatha, the basketball up 2. Even if you get a split here at the line, if you're the Ambassadors, you got a chance. Here's the problem. Morrison, a 78% free throw shooter on the year. She's 5 of 5, though, today, and she's got 32 points. Johnson, 81% on the year. Simpson just split a pair, but she's 82% on the year. You got to think that's one of the 3 that Clayton Morrison's going to want this ball to go to. But will they allow it to get there? 6.2 to go. Hansel, Morrison, Johnson, Morrison, and Simpson. The 5 on the floor for the SaberCats. As they get set to trigger. Looking, they find Callie Morrison. She's fouled. The second winds off the clock with 5 seconds to go. It's in the hands of Callie Morrison, who could put it away. Be sure at the end of this one to stay tuned for the Score International score of the game. Plenty to choose from, and there might be some moments yet to be had. First is no good. The Ambassadors are going to have a chance. No timeouts remaining, though. With 5 seconds to go, they'll have to take it the length of the floor. Make or miss. Will they need 2 or 3? It's no good. They only need 2, but a rebound by the SaberCats, and Morrison running away with it. With 1.5 to go, they couldn't get the defensive rebound. You got exactly what you wanted if you were Ozark Christian, but you couldn't track it down, and now Morrison again to the line, but with just 1.5 seconds remaining. First is good. I don't think she'd miss another after missing 2 in a row. She's able to track down her own miss. And yes, she has 33 points. That might be the biggest play of the game. The lead is 4, and that should do it. Long heave. Fitting. Morrison gets the deflection, and that will seal it for the SaberCats. They've come from behind, sparked by a 8-0 run, catapulted by 2 Johnson threes, but it was the Callie Morrison show with a tournament-high 34 points, who leads Maranatha Baptist to the victory. It's time now for our SCORE International Score of the Game. SCORE specializes in short-term mission trips, pairing your passion with the opportunity to share the gospel internationally and domestically. By joining SCORE on a short-term mission trip, Morrison did a lot of scoring. The and one there, a part of that what ended up to be 12-2 run that put the SaberCats in front for good. But, man, I tell you what a basketball game, as the Ambassadors gave them everything they wanted with some big threes late. But it's Maranatha Baptist who holds on, and they'll play for the 5th place spot tomorrow right here on the NCCAA Network. One more game to come. We will determine their opponent as Trinity Baptist and Barclay take the floor next on the NCCAA Network. For our entire crew, I'm Kyle Rush saying so long. We'll talk to you soon from Joplin, Missouri.